Cafe Networking Podcast promotes successful business experts. I'm Tom Rioch, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Joining us today from Boston, Massachusetts, Philip Blackett, investor and growth advisor, consultant, and author of Disagree Without Disrespect. So, Philip, why should entrepreneurs and small business owners embrace artificial intelligence to grow their businesses further?
So, first of all, thank you for having me, Tom. To answer that question, I think probably for the same reason why we should adopt the telephone, the personal computer, social media, any new technology that's helped further our business and help us become more productive. That's the same case with artificial intelligence. This is something that's not going away. It's not a fad.
No, not at all. It's everywhere all the time.
Absolutely. So the thought is that if you're not using it, that doesn't guarantee that somebody else isn't using it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that's here to help you become more productive and more profitable, depending on you taking the time to learn it and figure out how to adopt and master it in your business and in what you do day to day.
Well, to the point, what I found, people say they're not using it. You can't not use it. Anything that's happening, whatever you're doing as a person, as a business operator, it's being found, it's being indexed, it's there.
Absolutely. I think that, I can understand if there's some sort of hesitancy, because we often fear what we don't truly understand. At the same time, I think that with each passing day, the longer we give ourselves to trying to understand AI and to figure out how to best use it in what we already are doing, I would argue the further behind we're putting ourselves at risk.
Mm-hmm. So what you do on a daily basis, talk to business owners and help them take those steps?
Absolutely. I think it's one, just trying to help see AI as a tool that they can utilize to help them further and accelerate their progress towards building the business that they always dreamed of.
Well, I see on your Podmatch page, you say you help businesses through dream business makeovers powered by artificial intelligence. What is that?
So it's more so the sense that oftentimes for business owners, entrepreneurship can be a lonely road.
Right.
And we don't all have like a board of advisors or advisor in general to be able to see things and offer a different lens, a different perspective, another set of eyes that can be helpful for someone to say, hey, like if you're trying to double your business, and you're thinking that the only way you can double your business is just get double the clients.
Right.
That might be one way of looking at it, but for another person and from the outside, there might be 5 or 6 other ways that person doesn't know quite yet. And so oftentimes when we know better, we do better. But how can we know better unless we have someone that we can trust that can help us to know better how we can get our business to a better place?
Well, I think that's the word, trust, because there's so much static. There's so much fake out there. Sometimes it's difficult for a startup or business owners to really judge who or what he can use.
Right, of course. And that's part of why marketing is so important. There's a lot of messages out there. You're trying to figure out the real ones from the counterfeit. And so that's definitely why we can't stay in our own shell, but we have to put ourselves out there and share how we can be helpful for people that are looking for it.
Well, in today's world, do you help the person who doesn't have a business yet, the person who has the idea and wants to start up?
I think to a certain degree, I typically work with more established businesses that have a good amount of revenue. I tend to work with like revenue of like 6, 7, 8 figures, like 250,000 and above. But with that being said, for somebody that has a business idea or has a startup, there's definitely ways we could figure out, to help out, but it may be more of a idea generating, like, hey, have you considered these type of strategies, which can still be helpful because then again, it's another perspective that someone that's just starting may not have and now is able to use that to help bolster what their business plan is going to be as they get started.
Well, I want to take that point because what I see, and this is worldwide, when you do have an idea you want to start, The difficulty, and back to the word trust, is finding someone that you could share that with. And many times we figure it's our relatives, it's our friends, and that may not necessarily be the case. Generally speaking, what I've seen, they're the persons who say, well, you shouldn't do it. So sometimes we have to find a neutral person.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that sometimes the people who love us and care for us, they may mean well. They also could give advice that might be counter to what we believe is right for us to do. And so I think being able to balance that and understand where people are coming from. Maybe you're getting advice from someone that may have thought about business, starting up a business, but it wasn't right for him or her. And so you got to keep in mind the background and the backstory of the people you get advice from, and take the time to balance it out with others and see, hey, where does this all make sense? What are nuggets of information that's helpful for me to consider that I didn't know about before? And ultimately, after considering all the different viewpoints, what's my best next move from here?
And those moves, change is happening so rapidly. Back to artificial intelligence, it's instantaneous. What we're just talking about 15 minutes from now will be different. There will be another facet to everything. So the need to have trustworthy counseling is important at any phase of a company.
Right. I would say, the best time to get it, it's probably yesterday. The next best time, I would say, is today.
So to get that, how can our listeners find you?
Sure. So I'm available. I have a website called dreambusinessmakeover.com. There you can learn about, what AI has to offer for businesses, big and small nowadays. And we can be able to find some time to talk about it and see if it's a right fit for you and how we can work together. I also have a couple books on artificial intelligence that are available on Amazon. So you can just go on Amazon.com, look up my name, Philip Blackett, PhilipBlackett. You'll be able to see those books on artificial intelligence, along with any other books I've written already. And then lastly, I'm on social media as well. Just look up my name, Philip Blackett, on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, or YouTube. I'm there as well.
Very good. Well, Philip, thanks for sharing your time and your expertise.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
And again, for our listeners, it's Philip Blackett, Philip, the last name Blackett, Blackett. Find him on LinkedIn, TikTok, his site, philipblackett.com, and his books are on Amazon. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus MI Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at their site, focusmi.com. Talk to Tom, talk to the world. Thanks for listening. Until the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.